Hi, it's Kendall from Real Living Palm West Home Realty. Thanks for taking a few minutes to spend with me while I review my market trends report. This report is recorded in January of 2012, and we're taking a look back to see what went on in 2011 with a focus on the fourth quarter, because that's the most recent data that we have available. For those of you that don't know me, my real estate career started in the late 80s when I opened a real estate investment company that was purchasing and then managing properties for our own portfolio. I sold that business back in 2001 and moved to Palm Coast in 2002 and became an active realtor here in Flagler County in 2007. Currently, I am the broker manager of the Real Living office at 5048 Ocean Shore Boulevard in the Hammock section of Palm Coast. If you're in the area, we invite you to stop by and have a chat with us. Okay, here's a quick overview of what transpired in 2011. We did see an increase in transaction activity in our community. There were nearly $350 million in sales that took place in our area in 2011, and that is up by about 8% over 2010. The other notable statistic here is that, with the exception of Flagler Beach, we have seen a significant decrease in the available inventory across the board. In Palm Coast, west of the Intracoastal, there are currently 745 homes for sale. At the peak, there were over 3,000. In the northern peninsula area, which is the rest of Palm Coast, that's the Hammock area, right up towards Marineland, there is currently an inventory of 124 homes available. The very popular gated community of Grand Haven, there are 57 homes for sale. The biggest change in inventory has been in the Saltwater Canal section of Palm Coast, where there are currently 76 homes for sale. About a year ago, there were roughly 150. So we've seen a reduction in available inventory of about 50%. That is a combination of homes being sold and homeowners taking their property off the market and removing it from the available inventory. The one place we have seen a bump in inventory, and I'll get into that in more detail a little bit later here, is the community of Flagler Beach. So drilling down and taking a closer look at some of the neighborhoods. Again, this is the city of Palm Coast west of the Intracoastal. We are seeing the bulk of our transaction activity under 150,000. In that price range, you are looking at anything from a home built in the late 70s, early 80s, right up to some of the homes that were sold in the or built in the 2000s and sold at very high prices. Most of those are distressed situations. A good 50% of the market under 200 is either a short sale or a foreclosure home. As you move up in the price range into the 200s, you're getting into the Saltwater Canal area and the gated communities for the most part. Much less distress in those areas, but still remaining a pretty healthy inventory of homes available here. We have a very healthy list to sale price ratio in all of Palm Coast, and what that tells you is that properly priced homes are coming under offer. Average marketing time is about 6 months, and we're selling a little over 100 homes a month. When we look at that relative to the available inventory, you're looking at about 6 months worth of inventory. By the way, I do want to just point out that the slides here, this slide does not match up perfectly with my previous slide on number of homes for sale in Palm Coast, and that's because the data was looking at 2 different days. Here we got 565 homes for sale. This was based on December 31st. In the previous slide, it was over 700, and that's typical because I'm recording this on January 4th, and it's very common to see several homes go on the market on the first of the year. Okay, now we're looking at the rest of Palm Coast. That's the what we call the peninsula area, or the hammock, which is everything north of Flagler Beach right up into Marineland. There is really two markets here in this area. There are the gated communities, which are represented in roughly the $250,000 and up price range. So that's these homes here. That would include the communities of Hammock Dunes, Hammock Beach, Ocean Hammock, and Matanzas Shores. Down in the lower price ranges here, we're looking at the ungated areas. This can include some manufactured homes. And so anyway, there's really kind of two markets here. This is really a very small pocket. So concentrating on the upper price bands, we're seeing a lower list of sale price ratio than we saw in Palm Coast proper. And we are also seeing a little bit longer, or I should say a higher number of months inventory. We've got 121 homes actively on the market here, and we're averaging about 7 home sales a month. So that gives us about 20 months inventory. That is definitely a buyer's market, and that's reflected in the lower list of sale price ratios in most of these categories. Okay, taking a closer look at saltwater canal homes, there is a healthy activity in the lower price ranges, particularly under 300,000. There's a good number of available homes for sale. They are selling very close to their asking price, but really is an opportunity here to reach what may have previously been unattainable waterfront. A lot of these homes in these lower price ranges will be homes that were built in the 80s. Many of them need some remodeling, but if you're willing to take on a little bit of project, you can really get some great opportunities. As we move up over 300, we are starting to see some activity here, which is very good news. In the prior couple quarters, this range over 300 had pretty much been dead. But we started to see some pop in the fourth quarter, and we're happy about that. And again, healthy list to sale price ratios. But the most important thing, as I mentioned on a previous slide, is that the inventory is definitely coming down. And we've got roughly 6 months worth of available inventory, which is a market that's starting to come into balance. So that's some great news. Taking a look at the gated community of Grand Haven with its Jack Nicklaus golf course. Again, very similar to Saltwater Canal Homes section. We're seeing most of the activity in the lower price range, under 300. As you start to get around 300,000 and up, you get a very nice home in Grand Haven. The one home here that sold in the $1 million range happened to be my sale, and it sold for 92% of the asking price. But you can see we did need to make some price adjustments, and we're on the market for a significant amount of time before we were able to move that property. Available inventory, it's 1,300 homes in Grand Haven, which means that only 4% of the homes in the community are for sale. So there's some good value there, but finding the right home can be challenging. Okay, lastly, we're going to take a look here at Flagler Beach. This is the one area where I'm seeing some weakness. Even in 2008, 2009, when things were probably at their worst in Palm Coast, it would be very difficult to find a home in Flagler Beach for under $200,000, and yet here in the fourth quarter of 2012. That's where the bulk of the activity was. And there's, the number of transactions here at 18 is really not where we want to be. We're talking here about selling 6 homes a month with 82 homes for sale. That's a lot of inventory. And you also see that the list to sale price ratios here are not nearly as good. There's a little capitulation going on, I think, here in Flagler Beach. So if you're looking to be beachside, this is a great opportunity to be taking a look at the Flagler Beach market. All right, so anyway, if you have any questions, you are welcome to contact me through my website, flaglercoastalproperties.com. You can follow me on Twitter. My email address, by the way, is Caputo, my last name here, at flaglercoastalproperties.com. And you may also want to follow me on my blog at waterfrontlivingpalmcoasthomes.com. All right, hope you all are having a great day, and I look forward to a prosperous new year for all of you. Take care now. Bye.